Hello everyone. In this video, I decided to share my near-death experience when I was 6 years old. My name is Zhan. I'm from Kazakhstan, but I live here in the United States. I like to say that I will never ever forget about my experience. It was such a profound, memory, even though when I was so young. And I think this experience shaped me to be who I am today, and it makes me to think deeply, about life in general and how everything is so important. And I get very emotional. I'm a very emotional person, and I feel things so deeply. So I been wanting to share this experience, but I couldn't do it. But I want to do it today. I feel like people do need to hear. I had near-death experience when I was 6 years old. My sister and I, we used to go to visit my parents every summer. My mom, she used to take us, and she was a single mom, and she had to work. I loved spending time with my grandparents. They were such amazing people. They were such a hardworking, people. And especially my grandmother, I was so close to her. She was amazing. Bless her heart. And this experience, I don't know. A lot of people, they do believe. Some people don't believe. Believe in. I don't really care. But I basically drowned in the river when I was little. One day in the afternoon when we were having lunch. Of course, it started from that day. I used to love bread when I was little. I used to, put the piece of bread and put it in my pocket and then go out and, play. When I get hungry, it's just to grab it and then eat it. I did the same thing that day. I had a lunch with my family, and I told my grandmother, like, hey, I want to go, grandmother, I want to go play. And she was like, just don't go too far, just be, around the area, all the, So I told, and my sister, my twin sister, she was with me, and I told her, let's go outside, go play. She agreed, and there was the river, it's not like a big river, but it was like, it was a good amount, it was like right behind my grandparents' house, and you can just walk like 2 or 3 minute walk. And I told my sister, let's go to the river, and I was eating my bread and happy. That day was such a good day, a sunny, beautiful day. And when we approached the river, I saw a bunch of kids swimming. So, and I'm like, oh yay, we can swim too. So my sister, she was like, I'm gonna go sit down. And I'm like, do you don't want to swim with me? Like, let's go, let's swim. And because I saw a bunch of kids. And there are times when the river was like kind of low and then, high. And I didn't realize that how deep the water was at that time. So I decided to jump. And also I saw a bunch of kids, so I didn't really think about it, that like, oh, they can swim, just swimming. Why not? Why can't I do that? And I was very small too. My height was like, and I told my sister, like, I'm gonna jump. You don't have to come with me. And I decided to jump, and I jumped, and I didn't realize, oh my gosh, I thought I was gonna touch the bottom of the water, and I couldn't do it, and I started panicking, and I was drowning, and I was, screaming and yelling, asking for help to be saved, and I couldn't do it. So I was 6 years old, and I had a bread in my mouth. I at the time I knew I was dying. I couldn't breathe. The water was like filling up my chest. So it was like slow. Like in the beginning, it was like panic, and then after that, I start like calming down because I cannot breathe anymore. So I was just kind of losing my consciousness, I guess. And then everything went so black, and then everything got so peaceful, and then all after that, all of a sudden, my consciousness, like from the feet and then up, like from my mouth or whatever, it came out, and I was just pure consciousness. It was I didn't realize that, like, after, like, when you inside, you feel, you have all these emotions, fear and all of that, but when you're out, you don't have that anymore. I was just existing. I had no body at all, and it felt so good. It felt so peaceful. I didn't know that dying was so good, actually. So, I'm not saying the process, dying process is very scary, but after, when you like out of your body, it just doesn't matter. You just lose all your fear, and it's so good, Anyways, I start feeling so peaceful, I was feeling such a beautiful peace, and I was at peace. And like of course, like, there's no time at all. There's few minutes later, I start realizing that I died. And because I guess when I came out of my body, when my consciousness was out, I guess I didn't realize right away, like, because I got so peaceful. I was just like enjoying the peace, so I didn't, I guess, think about dying, like that I died. And then all of a sudden, like, in a few minutes later, I start, like, I'm dead, I'm out of my body. And when I looked down, I saw my body, and I started feeling so anxious, like, not in a bad way, like anxious, like, oh my gosh, like, I cannot die. I need to go back. Like, I need to go into my body. I could see it, and I felt, I felt this pity or whatever. Like, I felt, when I look at myself, my body was just laying like this, and I'm trying to like turn it over so I can see my face. My body was just like floating, on the water, and I was small, so yeah. And I tried to touch it, and I didn't have anything. I didn't have body, and I got so upset. And when I was getting upset, I felt this woman's voice saying, like, Zhan, everything's gonna be fine. You'll be okay. There's nothing to be scared of, nothing to, worry about. And this lady, this woman, she was comforting me, at the same time. And I really didn't pay attention to her, but because I was trying to, like, desperately trying to get into my body. So what happened next is I go to my sister, so it was like this, when I think about something, I was like instantly there, So I was there, and I was watching my twin sister, like, watching her. She was like throwing a stone, like, something like stone, like rocks, at my body. I guess she was trying to, like, wake me up, or like she was shouting my name, Zhan, Zhan, you know. But she and I trying to get her attention. I cannot speak. I don't have mouth, but I'm thinking, you know, like Janina, like her name is Janina. Janina, you know, please help me. Please help me to get my body. I need, please call somebody. I want you to go and get my body out of the water. I was telling her, and of course she wouldn't hear me, you know, and of course she wouldn't be able to help me either because she can swim. Until today, she can swim. I told her to go and, you know, take a lesson, but what happens next is I feel her feelings. I start hearing her thoughts. I was connected to her. I felt like I was her, and it was kind of interesting to me to experience that. Like I was literally feeling what she was feeling. I could hear her thoughts. It was like I consciously connected to her. And I remember she got up and then ran away. She went back home running. And I was just standing, and I remember I was feeling like so peaceful, you know, love, I guess. And I felt like I was not 6 years old. I felt like I had no, well, I think that's how I felt, you know. No beginning, no end. I always existed. I loved. I came from love. I am energy. We all connected. We're part of the beautiful consciousness, energy, the universe, all of those things. It was such a beautiful experience. I'll never forget. I'm loved, you know. No one can take that away from me. You know, even though we go through you know, hardship, difficult times, it doesn't matter. You know, every person on earth, even every human being, you know, Asian, white people, black people, Mexican, or Latino, it doesn't matter, you know, everybody is loved. We all come from love. That's how I felt, you know. We all connected to each other. It's what connects us is just the love, and we all come from, like I said, same place, same source. Anyways, after that I saw, you know, I mentioned I saw a bunch of kids swimming, so I went over there again constantly. I mean, I'm sorry, instantly. And I was also feeling the same way I felt with my sisters. I could also feel their emotions and their feelings and everything. And then I remember when I was thinking, you know, about them, I remember this beautiful light comes down from the sky. Well, I don't know if it's from the sky or it's just this beautiful light appeared in front of me. Again, not in front of me, I'm sorry. Like so I was just standing like this, like you know, on a floating, and then on the side. And then when I look at it, of course I don't have eyes. It was like a energy, like this beautiful energy, living beautiful energy. And myself, I feel like I was also like energy, like this bulb, beautiful white, you know. So this white light was telepathically talking to me, like said things like, oh, first of all, when I saw the light, the light was like radiating, I guess. Like I could feel the love that sharing with me, and I felt like I feel like I knew that light, or the light knew me, you know what I mean? And then the light was like telepathically saying like, you should come, like come to me, you know. So I didn't feel anything, like I feel like that I knew the lights, you know. So I said yeah, and the love was just so loving, so much love, you know, and it didn't scare me at all. And then the light and I, we just became one. So we connected to each other. It was such a beautiful, you know, feeling. And then me and I, we became like one. We got connected. And then I remember I ended up being in like a beautiful place where it's, as I remember, it was like a cloud, you know, so bright. It's like I was like floating, not floating, like I was standing on the cloud or something like that. And then I had a body, by the way. I ended up having body. When I had a body, I looked at myself. I was wearing like a white clothes. It was like white clothes, and the body I had was not like like physical body. It felt like an energy body, and then my body was like shining, like beautiful, like shining, you know, like white shining like this. And I was, you know, I was so beautiful. I was so beautiful there. I don't know. That's how I saw myself. You know, I was like, wow. This is me, you know. I'm so beautiful. And then I remember hearing a very like a masculine voice and like demanding, you know, and said to me and asking me like, what are you doing here? And then he says, you're not supposed to be here. And then he asked me twice and said to me, I felt kind of like a little bit, what do you call it? A little bit scared. I had that, not scared, like I got a little bit overwhelmed maybe, or maybe like, you know, like this voice telepathically. But it was like kind of loving, you know, at the same time. I remember some man, ancient man, appeared in front of me, like a mile or 2 miles away from me. And that light, oh wait, I'm sorry, that man, I was there instantly. And then I was like looking at like this, you know, he was so taller than me. Kind of ancient person. I feel like I knew that person, and that person was like, he called me son. It's like, hey, like son, my son. You're not supposed to be here. You know, you're not. It's not your time yet. You need to go back. It's your mission is not completed yet. That's what he said to me. He showed me my life review. I had a life review. It showed me from the day I was born to the day I died, and it showed me my future as well. Showed me the people that I'm going to meet, and I have to meet, and I have to make an impact on people, and showed me that every single interaction that we have on Earth is so important it's so important. Everything that we do, like eat, go to work, even like when you smile, you know, at a person that you don't know in the street, it's so important, you know. We do think that sometimes like we live boring life, or we think that our life is not important, but that's not true, you know. That's not true. Every single thing that we do, like I said, it's so important. It's so planned. We I think we plan things before. No, I don't think that's what I was shown. I that thus I was told, you know, that I have to go, I have to complete my mission because I already agreed to it, you know. So it tells me that I guess we do plan our lives. So it showed me how I have to, you know, who I need to meet, who I have to talk to, who I'm going to, you know, how I'm going to change people's lives, and every single thing, you know, that I have to do. So the every single thing that we do and everything is so important, and it's all about love. You know, love is the answer. Love is wins no matter what. You know, we so loved. We come from love. That's how I felt, and it changed my life forever. I mean, you know, I think about that every single day. I'm just happy to share this. The ancient person also showed me how I'm going to die as well, and it didn't upset me. You know, I was just agreeing to every single thing that he was showing to me. I understand. You know, and he said you need to go back. And then the light was just pulled me back, and I didn't go into my body right away. But when I went down, and I was like still like floating above my body, but my body was like surrounded by people. I saw my uncle, you know, a bunch of kids surrounding me, and I saw like a doctor, you know, and like that's how I felt, and like doing a CPR. And then this light was like, "Are you ready to go in?" You know, and then I think that's what I remember. And I said, "Yes, I'm ready." And then I immediately like went back. It got dark, and I woke up in my grandmother's arms. She was like tapping me on the back, you know, and she got so upset with me, you know. She was like, why did you go there, you know, we almost lost you. She kind of was a little bit crying, and I felt so bad. And she was like, don't ever go near the lake, you know, we don't want to lose you again. She was like, you know, did you die? You're not breathing. So I remember waking up, and I said, I'm going to play. And of course I didn't go to the lake again, but I was just playing in the backyard. I remember I looked up to the sky, and the sun was out, and I said, I'll go back again to that place. Just really, I remember telling myself, like, I will never ever forget about this experience, you know. I am actually writing a book about it, and you know, but it's just to, you know, to make an impact on people. I'm just happy that I had this experience, you know, even though death is just scary, you know, but it's not really scary, because at the end of the day we all, you know, die, and that's where we go back. And I also like to share, you know, I don't believe in religion at all. I think that religion is made up by people. So all the people that come to Earth, we just care there's like a very good plan. You know, the we all our lives is part of that plan, that beautiful consciousness, you know, that we come from. And we're here just to complete our missions, you know. religion is just part of the, you know, our living and like a plan. So everything gets shaped by little stuff. Even religion, you know, even religion also plays an important role in, you know, people's lives. But that's not really important, you know. So yeah, it's all about love and how you treat people, of course, you know. And we just have to learn and grow. We will make mistakes. We're not perfect. No one's gonna judge you there, you know, because at the end of the day, we on our mission, and we're not perfect at all. So we are perfect. Another side, our like a true essence, you know, we're so perfect. But here, not we're not. We're in a human body, you know. I also like to say that when you die, you don't really feel attachment to anything. But I think at the time when I saw myself, I just knew that it was not my time yet. I had to go back, and I wanted to live. Like I had such a strong desire to live, and I think that's how I think they knew that I need to go back and live my life and complete my purpose and my mission here. And I'm so happy, you know, I am learning and living and learning and making mistakes and meeting so many amazing, beautiful souls. And yeah, and I'm very happy, and thank you so much for listening. And I hope that this will, you know, give some perspective about your life and about death and love, of course.